Hello and welcome back to the Sojourn of Jesse. I am, of course, am Jesse, and today I have more of a political word, but here we go. America has a Titanic-sized problem that is sitting on our doorstep, and like the iceberg that caused the tragedy, we are only seeing a fraction of the problem that lies before us. Different foreign nations working with extremist groups are within America creating infrastructure capable of assisting them in ways that will be used against us if an armed conflict would ever become necessary. Actual proof of these claims are already public knowledge, and we need as a nation to begin to analyze and respond by dismantling them. China has acquired about 20% of America's best farmland and some agricultural assets and is stockpiling resources within our borders and bunkers and is not selling or exporting them but are leaving them here to be used at a later date. For what purpose is the question? Ask any military commander, and the most critical thing an army needs is resources. China has been depositing resources that are not for sale within our country for some time now. For more details, watch a documentary called The Grab. Also, News Nation and Dr. Phil have discussed this problem on their platforms. This is something that as Americans we are being woefully ignorant for us to recognize and to be doing nothing to fix it. We need to demand that they export all these resources and refund their money so we can raise our own crops for our use and they can grow their army's fodder on their own land. We will not be taken advantage of anymore. Democratic communism is not welcome in America and needs to be stomped out completely. I don't need to say anything else about it. Everybody knows. Another terrifying problem is the construction of mosques that are starting to have elements of bunkers being built into them. Before the year 2000, we had 1,209 mosques in America. In 2020, we had over 2,760. 2026 estimates say the number of mosques in America will surpass 3,150. That's an increase of 1,941 mosques in 26 years. That's according to the Islamic Society of North America, the ISNA. And the projected growth rate for future mosques is up by 31%. So in 26 years, these third world immigrants have managed to build 74.6 mosques a year and are predicting a future growth of 31%. Where is all this money for all these mosques coming from? It's being funded by money coming from outside of the United States and from our nation's funds and resources being weaponized through using the benevolent systems of our republic against us. This must stop. Entryism and municipal Islamism must be stopped, or we will lose this great nation of ours to forces that were never here and laws that were never created to protect our republic from a danger that we are as a nation never saw coming. We are facing this terrible danger right now, and it is way past time we identified the danger and moved to prevent a disaster from happening. This situation is exactly like an iceberg. We can see the danger, but we are not seeing what's under the surface. Drug cartels have underground pipelines to smuggle drugs into our country. And we would be foolish to think that people in our country that mean us harm are not building underground as well. Crimes against women have increased in every nation that has opened their arms to the believers of Islam. They have come not to assimilate, but to conquer. They openly gather to disrupt our way of life and demand that we change our societies to suit their religious beliefs. That's what fanatics do. They commit crime in our countries and then make claims that our systems of morals and justice are wrong and that we need to judge them based on their own systems of morality within the confines of our established nations. The words, "Are you people just playing out of your minds?" careening through my skull. What level of crazy do you need to be to tell a 250-year-old nation that we're coming uninvited and you all need to change for us? These people must go home. You do not come to any nation and try to prop up your own government, and if you do, the penalty for that is instant removal. No debating, no changing, just take your ingratitude and get out of our country. We are not changing our nation for your comfort. These people are guests that have become a public danger because of their misogynistic caveman thinking. There are many reasons, but our societies just don't mix. The way they treat every woman as a second-class citizen who has no individual rights makes me incensed. How can I tolerate anyone that would treat my mother with that kind of disrespect? I know and understand exactly what's on the line for the fate of our future women. We must be a part of whatever changes are necessary to ensure the future safety of every woman here in America. Not to do so would be an insult to God and a betrayal to my core values. I will not allow half our population to be persecuted while I still draw breath. And I know and pray that we have many more people that have the courage to believe as I do. We need to motivate our country into action with resources to build 74.6 mosques a year for 26 years. I know for a fact that just like an iceberg, we are not seeing all of what's happening under the surface, and each and every one of us needs to become extremely aware of that fact. All of us need to become involved in taking part of fixing these problems before this spirals way out of hand and stops being an intellectual problem and becomes a physical one. We need to bring a unheard of amount of pressure to bear on all levels of our government and every other systems that we have to make sure no more people, but especially women, come to harm. It is intolerable to allow women and children to come to harm because we welcomed a different culture within our borders that believe in ideas that are simply barbaric to us. God bless us all, and God bless America. Now let's get to work, because these guys have a head start, and there is no more time for games. We have many problems to fix, but Islam is fundamentally divergent from our system of beliefs, and as such, it must be expunged from America, or it will simply become a problem for the next generation to deal with, and that will only allow it to further entrench this nightmare into our country. This is an emergency, and this is an emergency that must be solved as expeditiously as possible for the health of our great nation. Thank you for your time, and God bless you all.